All right, we are here with a wonderful young man who is doing great things in the industry. His name is Micheal Jamal, originally from Wisconsin, now living in the great state of Delaware. And we're just going to do a little conversating and let you hear some of his music, and you can follow him along and become one of his great fans because I'm already a fan. All right, so without further ado, I'd like to welcome Micheal Jamal. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you this good morning, Lo?
I'm doing great, thank you. Now, I wanted to start with a few questions. Now, how long have you been, in the music genre?
Um, if I were to give it a year where I solidified it and said this is what I wanted to do, I would actually say 2004 would be the year that I started it all. So roughly a good over 12 years now.
Okay, okay. Well, that sounds good. Now, first, let's say, are you a millennial or are you a little bit more seasoned?
Um, yes, I would say I'm more seasoned.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, that
I
sounds
would,
good.
yeah, I would give myself the quote old head in the game.
All right. Now, what started you on this journey?
My old hits, such as watching the Temptations, listening to. If I were to really be honest with you, it would be majority women. I grew up in a house with my mom, so I listened to a lot of Betty Wright and Aretha Franklin, and the old school music that brought soul and had meaning behind it, basically.
Oh, okay. So when you're doing your music, is it safe for me to say that's something that you want to pour into your craft as well?
Yes, it's basically so like for example, I wanted to say I was millennial and also seasoned because I do. I'm like right in the middle. I was born in the '80s, but I was raised in the '90s, so I was there for the whole change of this whole mumble music and whatever they're calling R&B, whatever that this is today. I was there for the change of it all. So basically, my goal is to put that sound, that R&B soul sound, into every genre that I can touch. So if it's pop, I want to put it in there. If it's country, I want to put it in there. If it's rock, I want to put it in there. My goal is to bring back love, bring back the blues, bring back people telling their story, their pain, the right way, basically.
Oh, that sounds excellent because we definitely do need that these days because most people are just running on get them in and before they get you, kind of like that
Yeah,
Medea. Let me get you before I get got type of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So yeah, that is awesome. So what platforms are you right now on? Can we purchase your music or are we just in the listening stages?
Well, I recently released a can't say recently because it'll be a year come May 30th. Released a LP which is entitled Micheal Jamal versus Pierre Smooth Aries Ish LP. I released it on all major platforms that you could think of. Actually, if you type search it in iTunes, Google Play Store, Tidal, Spotify, you can probably even Shazam me if you're on your Snapchat. Um, so yeah, it's up there. I'm available. I do have a mixtape that I dropped back in 2012 on thatpiff.com. All you have to do is just type in Micheal Jamal with the hyphen in between, and anything of mine should pop up.
Okay, well that sounds good. So now, are you working on any new work right now?
Yes, I currently is what I call hibernation for myself. I'm in hibernation where this is where I do my most writing. My more creative juices come out. I've probably gone through something during this cold season, and I've got something to talk about. So that comes spring, summertime, I'm releasing new singles with visuals at the same time. Um, so yeah, I'm working.
That sounds great. So now, I know you said you're from Wisconsin, but you're now living in Delaware. How is the industry treating you in Delaware? Because that's a pretty small state.
um, Rough. Okay, I've been traveling back and forth between Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and here because I have my son back home in Milwaukee, and then I have my my two daughters and my son down here in Dover, Delaware. So, for a minute, I was back in the years of 2011 to 2013. The company that I was running, which was Intelligent Minded Soldiers LLC, we were basically something like the new Motown. I had nothing but singers on my label, so we were doing our thing. And so I can say that, as I traveled back and forth and fell back from it, focusing on family and kids and everything, the game has definitely changed, and it's harder for me now to be heard. It's easy to be seen, but it's harder for me to be heard because it feels like even in this small state, I'm still one little guy on the mission of bringing back the sound of real R&B.
Well, that one little guy thing on a mission has made a lot of comeback for a lot of people. So if you stick to your grind and and I can hear it, I've heard your music. So I love your music. I can actually throw it on in my truck while I'm driving down, the street and just, really just enjoy it. Yeah. So anybody that picks up your music, listens to your music, trust me, you will enjoy it. So I think you'll do very well because I know most people that are in the music industry, they don't just happen.
Right.
It takes years and years. I remember back when they used to sell the mixtapes out of the trunk of their car. Remember when that was big in the late 90s, early 2000s, not even early 2000s, late 90s.
Yes.
I was always big on supporting the new up and coming artists. And living in Atlanta, I was able to get a lot of stuff directly from, say, LaFace Records and, people like that, everybody coming in from New Orleans and all of the surrounding areas, because, of course, Atlanta is a great place to get you, exposed.
Right.
I remember picking up one of the LaFace tapes, literally cassette tape. It was that far back.
Yes.
And there was this one girl on this tape. Her song was so good. I loved it. Come to find out, years later, I found out it was actually Pink.
Wow.
It was her first release.
Yeah.
I remember, getting a mixtape and listening to it, and it was all one artist, and I was loving it. And I turned on so many people because I would play it in the car, and and driving down the highway and through the streets or whatever, and people get in the car, they're like, "Oh my God, who is this on this tape?" And I said, "It's some new guy named Mystical." And lo and behold, I actually had the pleasure of meeting him years later when he really caught on. And I couldn't believe that I was actually one of his first supporters. So, you never know how it's going to take you. Your journey is personal. And I know that you have a lot of stories about what's going on your journey so far. I would love to hear about it.
Absolutely.
But we're going to take a quick break, and I want to play one of your songs. Now, you tell me which one you want me to play.
Okay, so when I sent the email, when I sent out tracks, as if it's just telling a story. So we're going to go ahead and press Tell Me Part 1. Tell Me Part 1 is the Micheal Jamal side of the Micheal Jamal versus Pierre Smooth Airy-ish LP.
Mm-hmm.
It's the love side, the pain and the family thing that I was telling you about. So this is Tell Me Part 1.
All right. So hold on. Let's hear this Tell Me Part 1.